Hi, welcome back to Self-Wired Happiness. My name is Monica. Here at Self-Wired Happiness, we unlock the secrets to a long, happy, and successful life. On our last episode, we explored the nervous system and how it creates a survival mode to help us signs of danger and stress. We also saw how chronic stress creates illness. So in this episode, we are going to see how chronic stress and anxiety create a shadow personality. We are going to use the archetypes of the dragon to help us understand our shadow personality. My story with the archetypes of the dragon, I was going through therapy because I had trouble with anxiety. It had become chronic. I grew up in a very unpredictable environment. After losing my parents at the age of 6, I lived in an institution, in an orphanage. So I became very anxious because the environment was not very calming or very safe. Kids would scream, beat each other, or the grown-ups would behave in the similar manner. So it was very, very unpredictable for me. I went into therapy and I told the therapist that I have problems with anxiety. He told me the archetypes of the dragon would help me understand my subconscious mind. It is kind of a mindset tool. You're able to see the mind itself. I was watching a lady, her name is Africa. She was sharing her life. When she was in her survival mode, she used to lie a lot so that she can make up a better life than the life that she was living. Her father was abusive to her as a child, and when she went to school and they wanted her to tell stories, she couldn't tell them the stories, how horrifying her home life was. So she would make up stories and tell them lies, and she became a very good liar. You can see that this prolonged stress made her want to cope so that she doesn't really live in the reality of her life, so she can live in a fantasy where she is safe. And living in that fantasy is a survival mode that helps her survive her current situation. But we can see how lying in the long term is not a good strategy. It doesn't help you have a successful life, but in the short term, it's kind of like a shadow personality that helps you survive. So it's nice to see our shadow personalities and be honest with them. Also, it is nice to love the shadow personalities because the shadow helps you survive. I mean, it's not working for you in the long term, but it's coming from a place of love and care and protection. The shadow personality comes out of necessity. So let's explore the archetypes of the dragon. See the dragon as life's challenges. So the first archetype of the dragon is innocent. So the first archetype of the dragon, imagine you're living this beautiful, beautiful life and you don't know that dragons exist. You've never heard of the dragons or anything related to dragons. So you're living with your family, you're safe, you're happy. They tell you good stories. They don't tell you anything about the dragon because they just want you to stay safe and innocent about the workings of the dragon. So you're innocent and you're in pure bliss because ignorance is bliss. You're in pure bliss, you're innocent. And then one day the dragon comes. So we are moving into the second archetype of the dragon, which is the orphan. So now the dragon comes and destroys everything, your whole family, your neighborhood, your city, destroys everything. Somehow you manage to survive, but you're left orphaned, very victimized by the dragon. And so you start feeling sorry for yourself because you just destroyed, everything is gone. So the second archetype of the dragon is the orphan. Now you're no longer innocent. Now you know the dragon exists. So the third archetype of the dragon is the martyr. the next time the dragon comes, you decide you want to appease it. You want to please it so that it doesn't destroy you. You want to give it stuff. You want to feed it. You just want to be its friend so that it doesn't attack you the way it did. Do that, but the dragon still destroys everything. And so you start learning, oh, pleasing the dragon doesn't work. This is a hopeless situation, trying to please the dragon. So you decide to be a wanderer, to run away. Every time you hear that the dragon is coming to your city, you just run away. You don't wait for the dragon to come and destroy you. You are looking for signs of the dragon, and if you see that there are any signs that the dragon might come, you just run away. So you're really not investing in your life anywhere. You're just a wanderer. You don't stay long in any one city. You just are escaping and running away the moment you feel that the dragon might come. So the way that you're reacting to the dragon now is by running away. And then you get tired of running away. At some point, you start thinking, I want a family, I want to settle down, to invest in life. So you decide you have to fight the dragon for you to achieve what you want. So you become a warrior. You start fighting the dragon. The warrior is the fifth archetype of the dragon. So you fight the dragon, but the more you fight the dragon, the more you get drained, the more it fights back. You keep fighting and fighting and fighting, but it keeps fighting back and fighting back and fighting back. So you get worn out and tired and burned out. So you decide, okay, I don't want to fight the dragon anymore. You decide to become a sorcerer. So you study the dragon and understand the nature of the dragon. And now you start using the nature of the dragon against the dragon. You start moving in harmony with the dragon because you understand the nature of the dragon. When I learned these archetypes of the dragon, I was looking into my subconscious mind, trying to understand myself when I was running away from life's challenges, when I was trying to people please, or when I was trying to fight. I was mostly like a fighter. For me, it was always like trying to drive my point home in an argument, right? Like, I want to tell you this. Yes, I know better. I still think sometimes I do, but anyway, all of us have stages when we are learning how to deal with life. What archetype of the dragon do you identify yourself with? It's nice to look and see what archetype of the dragon am I identifying myself with. When I was a fighter, I thought, well, I'm wasting a lot of energy fighting. What other ways can I use to become more like a sorcerer so that I can be able to use life's challenges towards my advantage, how to turn pain into path. We can never go back to being innocent. So sometimes you want to move from one stage. You can decide which of these stages of the archetypes of the dragon that you want to move into. You could be an orphan, and now you are learning how to appease, and you could be a martyr. Now you need to start being a wanderer, or you could be a wanderer. Now you need to start learning how to fight. All these stages are okay, but they help you understand your mind. For me, I thought when I was fighting a lot, I was wasting a lot of energy. So I decided to stop and try to become more of a sorcerer. I don't know where you are in life. It's good to know where you are and what archetype you want to become. The first 5 archetypes of the dragon represent the survival mode. And we know from the previous episode that in the survival mode, you hemorrhage a lot of energy. What we want to do is to conserve our energy. The survival mode is good for the short term, but it is not good for the long term. The survival mode takes a lot of energy. When you're watching your mind, look how much energy you're wasting, probably running away or fighting, appeasing, and realize this is the survival mode in action. But it's nice to observe it so that you know how to react to it and what steps to take next. The goal is to manage our energy so that we are able to flow with life. Realize when you're hemorrhaging energy and think about ways that you can conserve your energy so that you don't feel so worn out, so you don't feel so fatigued, and so that you don't feel so lost. In this video, I just wanted you to have a mind sight, a way of seeing the subconscious, of viewing the subconscious mind and the shadow personalities and how they get formed. How do we get out of the survival strategy? Well, I think we will have to learn it on our next lesson. So thank you so much for tuning in to Self-Wired Happiness. Please continue to rewire and to watch your subconscious mind, this time like a hawk, because you have the mind sight of the archetypes of the dragon. Until next time, namaste.